أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers in Islam. Today is the night of 23rd Sha'Aban. We have probably a week or less than a week to start the fasting for the month of Ramadan. Now, what was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam doing in the last week of Sha'Aban? His main focus is following as usual, the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Shamsu diya'an wal qamaru nuran wa qaddarahu manazila lita'lamu adada as-sinina wal hisab ma khalaqa Allahu dhalika illa bil haqq yufassilu al-ayati liqawmin yu'minun. Now, if we analyze or translate, understand this particular verse, applying it practically to our own attitude, are we actually believers, or we are, well, just whatever you are, it is Tawheed. You are a servant, and you are to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and anyone, irrespective of tribe, color, location, who reminds you the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I hope I will stand in the hereafter amongst those actually who are reminding their own civilization, time and the location, and then generally on the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Fasting should be restricted, but today I don't think it is actually as it was on that particular time, because we can know precisely the day, the appearance of the crescent. So you can fast, for example, on Wednesday and the Thursdays, but let us respect Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You should not fast the last 3 days of the month of Sha'Aban. But definitely, whatever you are doing, my brothers, there is nothing more important than seeking knowledge and understanding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to worship Him as worshipped by Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Whatever you are doing is a waste of time. Without knowledge, my brothers, it's just like anything without the basic substance that makes that thing into existence. If you can't breathe, you are dead, you are useless. If you can't walk, you are useless. So, my brothers, let us be honest and straightforward. Let us stop pretending that we don't know. Because, fitrah, there is no excuse in the hereafter. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that everybody must know. But those who don't know, I think they should be proud of themselves. They will definitely enter paradise. And those who do not have the means to understand, even if they have all the sensory perceptions, they are normal, they will be greatly happy. They will enter paradise. But those who have the means and the ability to understand, fail to understand, that is what I don't understand. Well, we must learn Arabic language. There's no doubt about it. As I keep on saying, any translation of the Sunnah into a foreign language is deficient because it lacks the component of Nahaw and the Ma'ani and the Balaga. So you will not understand it. But you can obey. But whom are you going to obey? We don't have a Khalifa. There's no unity. Everybody is on his own, pretending to be a scholar. So, if you read and reflect backwards, as I keep on saying, I regret, but I am happy that I have scaled over, learned Arabic, and I have the means to buy Islamic books and read on my own. As a scientist, I always compare theory and practical, what I see. My profession, sometimes it is what the body presents that is important, not what I read, neither what the patient tells me. It's what the body of the patient presents. That's the way I'm going to approach it, because that's my target, the body. So, I wrote a book, as I kept on saying. I hope the publisher will revolve it, allow it to continue for this year alone. I think I have written to him, but I'll check that he should make the book available in the catalog for those who are interested within 1 week to read and understand. Because there's too much deception. It is not my intention to force anybody to understand, but Islam is based on what we call ittifaqi, consensus and agreement. So whoever is your scholar, is your teacher, or which book you ever read, definitely you have to read a lot to understand and find the real meaning, especially this period of confusion. But I have read. Today I read volume 25 of Majmu' al-Fatawa. We are wrong. We don't know Fajr time, the way we break our fasting, and consequently Sahur, and consequently our salats. It's all zero, my brothers. You see, I would say let us blame the Sahabas for not protesting when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told them, if not because you will not bury the dead, I could have beseeched Allah to show you physically the punishments of those in the grave. But why did not they react? Because today, if we are seeing the punishments of those in the grave, then the purpose of the unseen and the faith is no longer valid. But you have to have faith and believe in the unseen. That anybody who fails to act as acted by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that is his sunnah, will definitely be in hellfire. But this hellfire has been described like the one who does not observe breaking the fast. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked Angel Gabriel when he saw some believers hanged upside down through their Achilles tendon, like the way butchers after slaughtering a goat or a sheep or a ram, they dry it upside down with blood pouring from their mouths. He asked, who are those? He said, those are the ones who do not observe the sunnah during breaking their fast. Truly speaking, my brothers, I know anywhere, I know everywhere it is. If you look at the way people break their fast, it does not correspond. But I'm not saying that is true, because you will certainly quote Anas ibn Malik, that he says Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam breaks his fast with even water and a date. But Anas ibn Malik at that period was 10 years old. So, who are the narrators? Who made? Ibn Tawil? Okay, his student, he died 141 after Hijrah. Then Zaid, which of the two Zaids? Probably Qudama, he died 161 after Hijrah. So those are the narrators, and most definitely they were from our beloved, respected region, Baghdad, Kufa, the area of Islamic analysis on what we are having today. So if your scholars are honest and they are sensitive to theory practice, and they have read enough, they would have been concentrated on these three very, very important mistakes that are indelible because they have been written without explanation. I checked the Fajr, they call it angle, Fajr angle. They said Iskak is when the sun is below 20 degrees. As I mentioned in my previous video, 18, 15, and 12. But my brothers, let us stop blaming Abdul Wahab of leveling graves in his time. Let us face our own reality. Which one is more serious? To build on a grave, or to fast, or to take sahur after True Fajr, to delay your Fajr prayer, to break your fast not according to the Sunnah? Which one is more serious? That time wasn't anything very serious. But what did Abdul Wahab say? Read his Mu'allif, Abdul Wahab. Read what he says. So, as I keep on saying, you have to read to understand. Because so many scholars have said, mere listening to a scholar without personal conviction carries no reward on an ibadat. You have to be actually sure. You read yourself. Otherwise, if you don't read, you don't understand. This is the situation we are now. Illiteracy, confusion, hatred, nothing. Hardships, because we don't obey, we don't follow, we don't make our life, our way of life, as exhibited practice in the first 34 years of Hijrah. Who is going to disregard this warning of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that if we behave as they behaved in that period, definitely our own way of life would be 50 times superior than their own. But what are we doing? Fighting each other in poverty, impoverished. We are all hated. So what I'm saying that, is it justified to measure Fajr time and the Isha using the angle of the sun? Is it justified? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, when the night appears from and the day disappears, then definitely what is it? The time to break your fast and then pray. Now, as I said, I read volume 25, Majmu' al-Fatawa. He mentioned one very interesting argument. He says, which of the two is superior? Maghrib prayer or breaking the fast? It's a simple question. That's why I said you have to read. Which of the two? He said, Maghrib prayer takes precedence. Because the second time, the second visit, Angel Gabriel observed Maghrib prayer and the same time he observed it during his first visit. That is the understanding of, or the argument of Ibn Taymiyyah. But there are so many reasons to give to convince. In my book I said, if the smell from your mouth is sweeter than any perfume you have, why shouldn't you conclude you are fasting without smell? That is the argument I wrote in my book. I didn't write what Ibn Taymiyyah wrote in his volume 25. So you see the argument, common sense and the reasoning. So I hope your scholars, wherever they are, in Canada, in all over the world, will please concentrate on the mistakes during Ramadan. Today, I don't know what Allah will do, but the climate, the eastern horizon is actually foggy in Nigeria. I just went out, I saw the moon, but it's covered. It's definitely foggy, dusty, Qatar. So the idea of understanding Taleforce characteristics is not present today. But it may likely die down. You know, Allah is wonderful. It may likely die down. One will be able to see the true Fajr. But what I'm emphasizing is that the true Fajr, as shown, is not true Fajr actually. There is the time when the moon is not sighted on the eastern horizon. Because that line actually is only when the moon is not available. What you see, the milky appearance, shown all over the places. It is not like that. So what I'm trying to do is not to force you on my own ijtihad, but also you to make your own ijtihad, and we share notes and understanding. Because that is the only way we balance our scale. If you make a mistake, at least we have read, you have argued, you have one reward. If you are correct through your own ijtihad, you have two rewards. But you must read to convince yourself to have two rewards and only one reward. But otherwise, my brothers, it is definitely what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saw and asked Angel Gabriel, who are those hanged by the Achilles tendon, blood pouring from their mouth? He said, there are those who did not break their fast according to the Sunnah. Look at that, my brothers. And the question of Al-Israr, best written in Ihya Ulumuddin, I think volume 1, very beautiful. Nobody will penetrate your heart and see how clean it is. But what we are saying is that no one, truly speaking, I keep on saying, you see, unless Allah, through His mercy, will pity us, I don't think how many of us are in paradise. Truly speaking, forget about the episode of the Caliph, because even if there is no Khalifa, you cannot afford not to observe obligatory prayers, your salat, you are fasting according to the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because the Khalifa has no right over you on that. And I don't think even a Khalifa has right over you on anything. His only right is he provides an opportunity of you to be employed here in the world. That's the only importance of the caliphate, is opportunity here in the world. But when it comes with opportunity in the hereafter, he has no authority over you. He can't force you to wake up and pray during the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes. It's your own doing. And even whatever he says, if you hear it, I'm sure you will say what Umar said, oh Allah, I didn't hear it, I objected it, and I don't support it. So you are free. So the question of the Khalifa must be there in order to enter paradise. Does not exist. But the only thing is to give you opportunity to enjoy this world. So I'll repeat. Definitely, my brothers, we are wrong on fasting. You cannot measure Fajr time using the sun, because that was the measurement of the kufrs. I don't like the word kufr. That was the measurement of pre-Islamic. That was the Torah. They used the sun to measure prayer times, even at night. But the sun, yes, is used, but not the sun, it's the shadow we use. And you are also using angle of the sun to measure prayer times. This is kufr. This is shirk. So as I said, forget blaming Abdul Wahab. Blame me for describing kufr and the shirk in the Muslim Ummah. But definitely, you know, kufr and the shirks is a minor offense. The most serious offense is innovation. Now, if innovators will not be pardoned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will not be forgiven, my brothers, analyze yourself. Is it not better for you not to fast the month of Ramadan because you had to be innovative? Or if you fast, well, I don't like to say, you will come to me in the hereafter for intercession. I don't know. You say I'm arrogant. Definitely, there's intercession by the scholars. Because it's me who will go to Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I don't have direct link with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a scholar. No, I must go to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because Allah will ask me, then I say, yes, that is the one, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, this is the opportunity for you to read my write-up. If you agree, correct. If you don't agree, at least you have made an effort. You have 1 mark. But there can't be mistake, my brothers. Assalamu alaikum.